Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Yeah, brand new dad. He just turned 2 months. So he was 4 weeks old when we jumped into our SC2 push this year. So coming off a whole month of without sleep, ready to kill it for SC2. Have my best push ever. So have a kid. It's great for selling Cutco. Everyone buys stuff because you have a child. I mean, it's great. So but with that, we'll dive into the business gifts. So I know that's been a topic of discussion on your guys' team, right? I know you've had multiple messages of it, and I know Mr. Rob Robichek's going to be giving a message next month about it. So I'm try not to duplicate too much of what we've already heard, right? Some new things, some different things, and not duplicate what Rob's going to be teaching in the future. But the biggest thing I want to start with is just kind of my story, kind of how I got started with business gifts, and really just kind of show you guys that anything's possible, and you don't have to be, John Rule, you don't have to be Rob Robinchek to make this program work. In just a few short years, like I've already seen amazing growth and amazing potential in this program. And I was telling Rob earlier on a biz call that within the next 5 years, they do see this as $1 million program within my business. So let's kind of start with the stats. So, kind of where I started, where I've headed, or where I'm heading. So far for this year to date, I actually just closed a $5,000 business order right before this call. So I'm just under 90,000 in business gifts for the year so far. And a big portion of that 110K push came from the business gift layer of my business. But kind of where did I start, right? So 2018. So, it's crazy to think only 3 years ago, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're in our 4th year right now, was the first year I'd ever sold any business gifts. So that year, for the entire year, I sold $2,184 in business gifts that year. Big all year. 2019 took a little more seriously. I sold $15,098. And then coming into 2020, I decided this is going to be a pillar of my business, going to be a main layer. And this is how I saw, with events closing down and things being more limited in 2020, how I can make up that ground and make up that that CPO. So last year, I did 49,125. So, 4x it from the year prior, 3x from the year prior. And at this time last year, I was about 25K. So about half of it came first half of the year. The other 24K came in the fall. Like I said, so far this year, I'm at 89K, and we're only about halfway there. So the goal this year is to definitely get over 150. The push goal is to get over 200,000 just in business gift sales and really expedite this program, right? 4x or 5x it this year, and then double and continue to double from year to year. Get that $1 million year. But like I said, I'm not Rob Robinchek, I'm not John Rulin. I didn't have an amazing corporate program before this, or I wasn't in, business sales for many years to come, or I don't own my own business gift company or anything like that. I'm just a guy out here just putting things into action, what I've learned, and really maximizing the efforts. So the first thing I would tell everyone on this call, if you're, looking to get started with business gifts or take it to the next level, is don't undervalue your own client base. So the client base that we already have is a gold mine, guys. Every single year, I know myself, me and Rob, we both talk about all the time that there's so many clients that we've sold to for years, and we just never asked the question, do you run a business or do you own a business? We just never, that wasn't on our forefront. That wasn't our target layer to work in. And we just never asked the question. And it's amazing, month after month this year, I'm finding more and more clients that I've been selling to for years that own businesses, right? That are perfect clients for the business gift program. In May, I uncovered a company that I've been selling this guy personally for 4 years now. He owns a 300 employee company. He's an automotive manufacturing. They make like steering wheels, everything for like a front hub assembly for cars. 300 employees, man. That is a gold mine. That could be $100,000, $200,000 order right there, just with that one customer, right? That one client. And that doesn't count all the client gifting he could do. That's just employees. So, the first thing I would challenge you guys to really dig into your client base. Send out an email promoting gifts, right? Making that aware, right? Always talking and always mentioning it, whether you're on the phone or at an event or you're just catching up with the client at a service event. Asking that question. Hey, remind me, what do you guys do again? Oh, you own your own business? Oh, it's a law firm? Oh, it's a tax firm? Oh, you're in manufacturing, right? Uncover those questions because you never know when that next golden opportunity is there. And you already have the relationship, you already have the trust, you have everything lined up to close the amazing order because all the work's already done. They love the product, they love you. They're ready to to take this program. And the great thing is all of those companies already have a budget set aside. That's one of the things I love about the gifting program is, you know, residential, right? We're trying to find the money within the budget, right? The personal budget. They weren't planning on spending knives. But on a business client, they have 50,000, they have 100,000 set aside for gifts, right? They're already doing something like that. So they already have the money. It's just, hey, how can we reallocate that into something that's going to 10x your ROI, right? Opposed to pens and mugs and a calendar, right? Something they're going to have for years and years and years to come. So that's the first thing I want to cover, right? Just kind of really how relatable it is and how anyone can make this program work. You don't have to be someone special. And then from there, really just asking your clients when you close business deals about referrals. So it's amazing the mentality shift. A business owner, they refer business all the time, right? When they find a phenomenal product, they find a phenomenal service, they recommend that to their partners, to other people they work with, because that's just good business, right? So it's not like residential where they're worried about giving referrals or they're hesitant about it. Every single business that I work with, they give me referrals and they tell me, hey, you better call this person. I want to hear what they buy when you call them, right? They're excited about the program and they know how impactful it could be for their business as well. I was actually sharing a story earlier that I have a client that I haven't actually had a business meeting with them. We've had 3 appointments set. Every appointment's kind of not worked out or fell through or whatever. But every time I talk to this guy, he gives me another referral. Like I haven't even sold or pitched gifts to him, but he keeps sending me referrals. Like last time he's like, yeah, dad's not home. He's a partner. I need him here to figure this out. But, you know, have you seen so-and-so on 82? Have you seen that? Oh yeah, it's my cousin. You should go and see them. They'd be a great person. You know, gives me all the dirt on it, right? Gives me the owner name, the cell phone. I have all the ammunition. And I went out and saw his cousin he referred, and that's a 10K potential business order that we're going to be closing on in 2 weeks. And I haven't even met with the guy yet. It's incredible how you can really spiral and grow this program because it feeds into itself. So that's the first thing I want to cover. Next I want to cover is, you know, on a business meeting, like how does the meeting actually go? So I know when a couple years ago when I was starting the program, I didn't really know what I was doing, right? I was selling on enthusiasm, pitching them gifts, saying how amazing the program was, but I didn't really have a structure to the program. So I recently went out and sat down with Rob and actually watched one of Rob's business meetings and scripted the entire thing and actually walked through the meeting with him and really kind of put something together. So I want to show everyone my business binder, right? This comes with me everywhere and anywhere I go now. It's always in my bag. I have the "Do you run a business" laminated in the front of the binder. On the back of the binder, how did your business show appreciation sheet, all right there. And this is kind of how I walk through on a meeting. I know you guys are kind of more focused at events right now, but this is going to translate, right, when you get those meetings at the state fair, right, where we're going to go from there. So I'm going to walk through kind of my quick business meeting, right? We can talk more about it, but I'll kind of hit on the value points and what I like to show the client to how to get their mentality and their mindset thinking about doing high-end gifting. So first thing I open with is, right, how's your business show appreciation, right? So I talk into that, I speak into that, how I've been using the pandemic this year to really help me close orders because it's the right mindset, right? So I'm sure anyone who's dealt with any businesses this year have noticed everyone is extremely busy across the board. Every industry other than like hotels is really the only thing, but everything else, people are busier now than they've ever been. Like it's their busiest year. Imagine their busiest time of the year, level 10 all year, right? That's what we've experienced the last 12 months of business owners. So I speak into this as, hey, this is never a better time to show appreciation for your clients or employees than when they've been busting their butt the last 12 months trying to keep the business afloat because you're so busy. And everyone's like, yes, right? Everyone across the board is telling me, hey, if they had another 5 or 10 or 20 workers, that would be better because they're so busy they could use all the help, right? So never better time to appreciate them when they matter the most. Because without your employees, right, you don't have a business. And right now they have 50 other options. You know, on their way home, they see a dozen signs for help wanted. They can work anywhere they want. We want to show them appreciation and keep them here with us, right? And show them why we appreciate them, why they matter to our business, right? So that's why I speak into that. The next thing I go through is the Good from Great checklist that John Rulin put together about gifts. And he hits on 10 reasons of what makes a good gift a great gift, right? So I speak into this about, hey, giving gifts important, right? But it's more than just doing it to check a box. It's, hey, if we're going to give a gift, it better be a great gift, right? You better get the most bang for your buck. So I hit on all these points. I'll kind of run through the document very quickly, but it's basically, best in class gift, right? which I'm not telling that Cutco hits all these points, but basically the concept here is as I go through it, they can make the connection of how Cutco is going to make sense and hit all of these points and make it a great gift, right? So best of class, is it unique? Is it practical? Longevity, personalized, autopilot program, multi-dimensional, so multiple people can use it, unexpected, visible, and classy. Right. So I walk through all those points. I kind of say something on all those points, and I tell them at the end, yeah. And here at Cutco, we strive to hit all 10 of these points and really make your gift the best gift possible. From there, I ask them what they're doing currently, right? So I usually already have this information, but if I haven't asked it at this point, I'm gonna ask them, so what are you guys doing right now to show appreciation? What'd you do last year, right? I try to get that out there. 9 times out of 10, when I ask the last year question, they can't give me an answer right away. It usually takes them, if they do remember at all, it usually takes like 20, 30, a minute, right, for them to think about it, figure it out. And I always kind of joke with that is like, yeah, I usually always get that response because 9 times out of 10, your job is not to buy gifts, right? Your job is to get business. That's what you're great at and keep the business running. My job as the gift consultant is to help you get gifts. And most people, because they're so busy in the fall, they just, gifting's the last thing on your mind, last thing on your plate. And then all of a sudden you wake up, it's, end of November, you're scrambling, you're trying to get something for the banquet. And ultimately it's just not as impactful or meaningful as you really want, right? And it's amazing when you lay it out like that and you really paint that vision. They've all had that experience one time or another, right? And they all know how crappy of experience, how much they don't like that, right? How painful that is, right? It's like telling Mrs. Jones about the junk knives. So it really hits home, and it really, you're painting the vision of how we can never have that feeling ever again with the gifting strategy here. So I hear what they're saying. Most people will tell me a bonus, a gift card, something consumable, right? Which is what I want to hear. That's great. Because the next point, I'm going to kind of not talk crap on that stuff, but I'm really going to show them and get them thinking the mindset of how that is a good gift, but it's not a great investment. And so I go through the Inc. magazine, 5 bad gift ideas. The 5 gift ideas are food, alcohol, wreaths or plants, credit cards, and Apple products. And right, I speak into all of these as I go through them. If they're doing something like this already, I tell them that's okay. Majority of business, before I come and see them, they are doing one of these things on the list. That's okay. That's very natural. Okay. But just like, biggest thing is gift cards, right? I really hit on the gift cards. I really hit on the cash. So the big thing with those is, yeah, it's a great gesture, but whether we realize it or not, subconsciously, by giving them cash or giving them a gift card, we're basically telling them that to go and buy their own gift. That we're, whether we realize it or not, we're telling them, hey, you're not important enough for me to spend the time and the energy to buy you a gift. So just go buy it yourself, which is not how we want them to feel. It's not how we want them to think about the gift, right? We want them to think this is incredible. It's amazing. They spend a lot of thought, energy, and money and effort on this, and they really value our relationship. That's what the gift means to them, right? That's what the intrinsic value of the gift is. So, and like I said, I tell them, hey, it's okay. We've all done it in the past. That's totally fine, but I'm here to help make that investment a phenomenal investment. I'm going to 10x your investment, right? From there, I talk into the engraving work. So I know myself and Rob have gotten really into the block engraving. I believe Cutco does offer this now. If you're doing a quantity of more than 10 blocks at once, we actually can engrave right into the wood. So put a logo right on the block, right? So this is something me and Rob have been doing. I just finished with the customer I sold earlier. They bought 2 homemakers for 2 of their employees, and we're actually going to engrave it. We're going to put the company logo on one side of the block, and on the other side, we're going to personalize it for the wife. So it's going to say Lori's Kitchen on one and Liz's Kitchen on the other. So AIM finishing on one side, and then made for Lori's Kitchen on the other, right? Personalized to them, looks super classy. Super presentable, and it's something they're going to see every time they look at it. And I paint that vision of, yeah, this is a great way to get you very organic referrals and organic business, because when their friends and family come over and they see that thing on the counter, they're going to ask immediately, who did you get that from, right? They're going to see the logo. Is that AIM Finishing downtown? Oh my gosh, they gave you that? That's incredible, right? And they're going to talk about the gift. They're going to promote the gift, and you're going to get your name around all their friends and family. So I show them a couple different options of the engraving work. From there, I hit into the fact that, hey, we don't just work with mom and pops. We don't work with small companies. We work with everybody, right? So this is the national gifting, national clients that we gift with, right? And it shows sports teams. You got Vitamix on there. I mean, you got Google. I mean, you got everybody on here. A lot of big clients that John's worked with in the past. And it's really just kind of pull them in and show them, hey, this is bigger than just me and you, right? This is bigger than just the town. This is a national recognized company that we work with billion-dollar companies that do our gifting program, right? So really just painting that vision. From here, I go into testimonials. So I have about a dozen testimonials, a couple that are from John, a couple from Rob, a couple that are my personal testimonials that I highlight. I go through, I just kind of hit on the names. In my community, they recognize a lot of the business names. So I kind of go through the names. And then there's 3 on here that I hit on every single time and I read to them. So one talks about retention. The base of the testimonial says, hey, since we've been starting to give Cutco as gifts, we've noticed a drastic increase on our retention. We used to have turnover every 2 to 3 years. Now people are staying 5 to 10 years with us because of Cutco, right? So that's very, very powerful. As we all know, keeping a client or employee on opposed to hiring a new one, it's 10 times more expensive to hire a new one or add a new client on, right? So we always want to be retaining our business. So one talks about that. One talks about how unexpected and amazing the gift was and how practical it was and how it's something that they use every single day for the last 10 years. And then last one hits on last one in here. But basically it's a great testimonial. It's actually one of Rob's customers that he wrote. It's just handwritten right on a testimonial page, but it basically it says, hey, I was gifted Cutco at a very young age. I wasn't married at the time. I didn't think I would ever use it. I thought it was a bad gift at the time, but then I got older, I got married, I bought a home, I have kids now, and we use it every single day. And this was the best gift I ever received from an employer, right? So something that even at the time, the employee didn't realize the value of it, but as they got older and they grew up, right, and got married, they realized, wow, this is an incredible gift that my employer got me that I didn't realize at the time how incredible it was until I got older and could appreciate it, right? So just speaking in the fact that, hey, this is not just this month gift or this year gift, this is a forever gift, right? That they're going to use and appreciate and love. So that's kind of the end of really the pitch, if you will. There's some more stuff in there, but that's kind of the gist of it all. And then I go, I have right into pricing. So at this point we've answered the question of, budget, how many employees or clients, right? Who we're gifting for. And then from there, we're just going to find options of what would make the most sense for them. That's the business gift meeting. So that's the main thing. I know that we wanted to leave time for Q&A. So I left, plenty of time for you. I hope you appreciate that, Matt. But yeah, I'm open to any and all questions. I'd be happy to answer. You guys got me for as long as you need me.
That was absolutely mind-blowing, dude. I'm saying, Brett just texted me. He's like, your expressions while listening to this is really funny. Dude, yeah, that was incredible. I love how you just basically have a badass blue book for selling business gifts and just testimonials, the company sheet page. It's awesome, dude. And your pitch is down pat. I'm like, I'm wanting to buy gifts for everybody now. Dude, that was awesome. Question that I have, is going to be, how long does your typical business gift pitch last?
Yeah, so if we're like start to finish and we're closing, it takes about an hour. I found that usually if I set aside an hour between getting there, the meeting, introduction, going through the presentation, figuring out the options, and then closing, I can do that all within about an hour. If I'm just pitching the program and for whatever reason we need a follow-up meeting, like I do a lot of drop-ins where I'll just literally stop into the business. Hey, do you guys have a few minutes now that we could talk, right? And maybe I can only get one of the partners, or I can't get everyone in the meeting, or someone needs to be there. And I'm just doing the pitch, about 20 to 30 minutes just for the actual presentation, getting warmed up, and then, rescheduling that closing meeting or that, finalizing meeting.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's something else. I'll speak into that real quick. So I would be prepared for multiple meetings, guys. That's one thing with the business gift program. Don't always expect like a one call close, like on a service call or a demo, right? Sometimes these are large orders, right? Sometimes it's a 10, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 order. We can't expect someone to just make a decision about $100,000 in a half hour, right? I'm always expecting multiple meetings. Now I think it's kind of one of my superpowers in the business gift realm is I do close a lot of first one call closes. About a third of my meetings are one call closes, but that is an outlier. That is not common. Okay. I would not run on those numbers, right? I would always expect, hey, I'm gonna need at least 2, if not 3 or 4 meetings to close this deal. And if you go with that mentality, when you get that one call or 2 call close, They're like, this is great. I was expecting 4. We did 1. I have all this extra time now to go and meet with another client, prospect, and do whatever.
I love that. Setting that expectation for yourself is key. Do you have any leaving pieces that you use for those people that you're having 2, 3, 4, 5 meetings with?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure we all have the business gift trifold. I got it right here. I can show you guys. I give them 2 things. And there's actually a few more things that I want to add to this. Rob actually has like a legit like branded Cutco Rob binder that he gives them with like all of the information and like a really great leave behind. I'm still building mine up. So this is the business gift quad or trifold, right? So I'm sure we've all seen this, right? That do you run a business TGP on there? Shows the engravings, right? Shows the gift box, shows a couple different tiered options, right? And then we can put our business card in the back. So I'm always giving them one of these just to get them kind of thinking in the tier ranges and showing them the engraving so they can really see how nice the engraving looks on the blades. And then this is the quad fold put together by Vast Action that I have of the Cutco kitchen quad fold, right? Shows all the kitchen knives, shows all the other products on the other side with your information brand on the front. This thing is incredibly valuable. If you've not invested in these yet, you are leaving CPO on the table. These are amazing. These are money. So generally I'll leave them both of these. And in this, I'll basically highlight and circle what we talked about today, right? So for like the client I just closed, this is our second closing meeting. Meeting 1, we basically put a total custom program for them. 2 employees we were buying whole sets for. 2 employees we were putting together hunting knife packages, and 2 employees we were putting together like a smaller kitchen set package. So what I did is I actually went through and I labeled, all right, the young guy's set, and circled all the hunting knives reading for him and put a name by it, right? So this is for Ivan, right? Then I went over to the other side. All right, so for the girls, we did this, and this, circled all that, right, with the pricing. And then the guys, we did homemakers. So I circled the homemaker set, you know, for the guys, right? And gave him that. So that way, because he's not going to remember every individual piece we talked about, right? He's not going to go on the website and look all this stuff up. And without this, he's probably not even going to think about it, right? So if you give him something like this, he can review, he can look at it, he can show to a partner, whatever. And it's just very incredibly powerful to help continue to move that ball forward, opposed to them, you know, calling you back for a million questions or whatnot. It's amazing when you give them literature like this. They like when I came in today, he was ready to go, right? I came to the meeting, he's like, yeah, we're going to do what we talked about. And there it was, right? I didn't really have to recap anything. I didn't have to dive through everything again. I didn't have to pull anything out of the bag. Really, all I came in was my book bag, order forms, right? The biz binder, and a couple quad folds. So.
Awesome.
I have a question. It's really simple. Do we have a business gift trifold that doesn't have the little inserts for your business card? Because me personally, business cards are going to fall out of those if you put them in the little slits. Can we not get those designed in a way? Are we allowed to get those designed, those business gift trifolds with our information just on them so that it's not business card and trifold combined?
If you have a stamp, you can stamp your information on it.
Yeah, I say that's what I've done in the past is, you know, that back where you have the business card, I just stamp my information right there.
Yeah.
And it's all ready to go.
Is there, what I'm asking though, is it compliance eligible for Vast Action or somebody to go ahead and print our information on it so I don't have to stamp anything, staple anything, less time?
That would be
Can
a
I just
question for
buy them
Josh.
with my information already on it? I want some of those trifolds, but I want them to have my info already on them and I don't have to do anything. Is that even a possibility in the near future?
I don't have the answer to that information. Josh, do you know by chance? If not, I think the best person would be to reach out to Stevie P.
I mean, you can pay us or your assistants to do anything you want. That's not a problem. So, but I don't think Cutco is going to change it from what it is. I mean, they're probably going to update it or whatever, but you know, I don't think that they're going to offer it where they'll print your stuff on it for you automatically. So if you want to do something extra like that, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to pay somebody to do that for you. No problem. So
Okay.
Chelsea, if you were interested in having us do that for you, I'd say just reach out to our team and say, hey, if I buy and have shipped to you a bunch of those business gift trifolds, will you guys go through and label them or stamp them with my information? and we can make that happen. I'd be surprised if we couldn't.
Thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
I have two questions.
Let's do it.
Cool. So first question, when it comes to going back and forth between client and employee gifts, I've noticed that, some businesses go directly to one, like realtors obviously go directly to client gifts, whereas like some businesses that just or have small transactions go to employee gifts. Do you ever run into businesses that do both, and how do you direct your pitch either back and forth, or do you try to stick towards one, whichever has like more CPO, or what's your strategy for that?
Yeah. So to answer your first question, yes, absolutely. That's actually been a big focus this year, is getting more client gifting. I feel like I'm getting very good at employee gifting, but I want to dig into more client gifting, because really the client gifting is unlimited, right? As long as they're in business, they're always going to have clients. So which means they're always going to need to buy gifts. So that really is the unlimited opportunity right there. Next question. So I like to meet them where they're at first, and then backdoor into those other options, right? So if they're like, yeah, we want to do client gifting, yeah, we want to do employee gifting, great. Let's meet them there. Let's take care of that need first. Let's get them on board, and then let's introduce the other options, right? So, hey, you're already doing employee gifting. I forgot to ask, what are you doing for your clients, right? Your most valuable people, right? The people who buy products from you, keep you in business. Oh, we're doing this, or we're not doing anything, right? And using that as a way to then use that to get into that, right? We want to find a price point then, which once again, if we've answered a lot of these questions up front, we already know about this, right? We've already at least kind of gotten thinking about it, or at least mentioned it as an option. But yeah, establishing a budget, establishing some options, right? Generally for clients, kind of really good tier 1 gifts, depending on what industry it is, scissors or pocket knives are generally my go-tos. Those are very universal, right? They're very the customer understands them. They're within that 100 to 130 price point, right? Which is right in line with usually for typical client gifting. So that's kind of where I go with first. But like I said, I always meet them where they're at first, whether it's clients or employees, and I introduce the others. Hey, we're already doing this. If you want to add that on, we can increase the quantity discounts, just get you better pricing for everything.
Awesome.
What was the other question? You're welcome.
Yeah. So the other question I had was, when it comes to like knowing the business going into the meeting, like I talked to Joseph Rodriguez, for example, about like CGC versus business gifts, and he was explaining to me how it's very different. There's a lot of similarities, but you really need to somewhat tailor a pitch to their specific business. So my question is, do you like research their business before you go into appointments, or B, if you don't, are you looking for things inside building rapport about their business, or do you just not do that at all and you just have like a generic business gift pitch?
Yeah. So speaking of this, so first off, absolutely you want to do research on the business. That's for sure, because it's going to do a couple things. First off, you're going to be able to relate things. So I actually went and field trained with Rob a few weeks ago, and he did a ton of research on this company. Like he had researched the website, knew a lot of stuff about it. And their one of their mottos was like, superior quality, superior craftsmanship, superior product, right? Or something along the lines of like, that's what they value, right? The quality, the product, and then they guarantee the work because it's the best work out there. So he was able to use that during the pitch. It's like, hey, I know these are the 3 core values you guys stand for. We're the same exact way, right? And really use that as a way to make it relatable and kind of build that connection of, hey, we're the same exact type of company. We just do gifting, right? You guys do construction work, right? So using that as a way to tie that together. But yeah, absolutely Google it. Any literature you can have on it. I know one of my first big accounts, they bought 25 grand. They're a lumber company. And be honest, I had no idea about lumber or how that works or anything like that, right? So I did a lot of research on it, right? I figured out what's the difference between hardwood and plywood, and right, and why their industry is unique, and who, if they do hardwood, who are they selling to, and who's their suppliers, and right, what does that look like, right? Because the more information you have on the client, like I said, it allows more trust and credibility, and it shows like, hey, they're going out of their way, they're doing something that no other salesperson's doing, and they're really digging in and learning about me and my business and how they can help me. I'm just not a number. Like they actually care about our relationship. So absolutely do that legwork up front, and you'll see it only is going to increase. Closing time is going to be faster, higher closing ratio, and bigger orders from it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have any questions? Going once, going twice, 3 times. Awesome. Dude, incredible stuff. I just want to compliment you on how much time and energy I can tell you put into this program and developing your scripts and the binder. Like, dude, it's awesome. You can see why you're, having 110K pushes. It's really exciting to see, man. Thank you so much for sharing the goods with us. Everybody got a ton of value out of that. I'm sure I got so many nuggets myself. And yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see what this does for our team come fair season, come for the rest of the year when it comes to business gifts. So really appreciate your time and energy, man. You're awesome.
For sure. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.